Hey folks, James Craig here. I've decided to go ahead and do the fifth step to the photo reading process here with my little book here called Small Message, Big Impact by Terry L. Stroden. And, it was about a week ago when I decided to do the first four steps of this book. So I've given a lot of time to incubate my mind, to find the answers. Um, and I've got all my questions that I want to answer right here on a piece of paper, and we'll go through them real quick one by one. There are a lot more steps and things that you can do in the activation process. However, right now we're just going to stick with the one, and that is the intuitive idea to find the answers to these questions that have been incubating in my mind for the past week or so. So what we're going to do is just go through the book real quick, scan a few things, and find out if we can find these answers. And when we find these answers, we'll see if we develop any new questions along the way. In later videos, we will be doing things that involve mind mapping, and you can utilize techniques such as skittering, dipping, and super reading, which is a combination of skittering, dipping, and photo reading. Uh, those all will be in progression as we go along and we build together, folks. We will also go into mind mapping. That is a good way to understand the information and to recall the information whenever you want, uh, as as you want it, and it puts it into a visual map of knowing where that information actually came from and how it's closely related and connected to other parts of the book. So we'll get into that later. For now, let's just go ahead and answer these questions and see if what we have done in 15 minutes will give us the information that we want. So let's just go see if we can find, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions here. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the answers to them. And then we'll go ahead and delve in a little bit deeper, and eventually you will be able to see how mind mapping really works and how you can grow and grow and grow and never have to stop. So we go ahead and do step one again. Let's go ahead and prepare. Let's get to that mindset. Nice, calm, relaxed states. We're most alert, most absorbent of the information that we're looking for. So the first question is, what is elevator speech, and why is it important to me? So let's just go ahead and see what we can find. Let's see. Well, maybe we'll just go back into photo reading step. See if we can just do this. Okay, so it's simple. Elevator speech. What is elevator speech? That is simply breaking down a subject from a great amount of time to a shorter amount of time. Um, So basically, saying a presentation would go from 10 minutes to 2 minutes because you just have to condense the information. Um, okay, and why is this important? Why is elevator speech important? You know, you can always find within the information that you will get the contents within 20% of the overall time it takes. 80% is usually typically the fluff. 20% is usually the important part. So say you want to take 10 minutes to explain something, you can break it down and get it in 2 minutes and still get the value and that you're looking for. So cool, that's what elevator speech is the understanding to shorten your talk, your presentation, from 10 minutes to 2 minutes to get all that value and content out to the people around you. What will inspire me from getting busy? Well, let's see. Well, introducing Monroe's motivated sequence. Monroe's motivated sequence pattern was structured in 1935, and it's simultaneously problem solution oriented and motivation centered. You know, why would this help me? And that's my second question. What will inspire me from getting busy? To get, I'm assuming that's what I meant. But clearly, motivation sequence will inspire me to get busy. And they put it in an easy format. Is time flexible organization patterns. Um, yeah, and you know, what is the audience motives? You know, what's their why? What are they looking to get out of it? What's their attention? What's their need? What's going to satisfy them? Um, what are they going to be able to visualize, and what actions are they going to be able to take? So, um, what will inspire me to getting busy would be attaining an attention step. First and foremost, understanding why I want to grab these listeners and make them favorable in a favorable way to relate to the audience and relate to them because they're looking for a certain thing. They have a reason why they're listening to you. So to understand your listener a little bit is a great way to inspire yourself to get busy. You know, what do they need? What does the listener need? Why are they coming here to, you know, and how can you help satisfy them in a way that you know, relates to them, so that you can you know, you can allow them the extra opportunity to get busy as well. Um, and what can they actually gather from, you know, offering a plan or solution of visualizing the steps they need to take to, you know, sell them on the product or to give them the confidence to go into the business meeting or whatever. And then give them, you know, formulate some action steps that they can take right now that will, you know, guide them towards what their why is, and guide them towards the solution and inspire them to actually make something happen rather than just thinking about it. What will inspire me from getting busy? Okay, so I think the motivated sequence is a good place to start. And you know, Terry actually puts it in a good way. You know, attention step, need step, satisfaction step, visualization step, and action step. And in that order, you can accomplish almost anything. It's like saying, if I focus on it and take action upon it, I'll see the results from it. Utilizing the imagination and the reason and the creative side of my own personal being. Um, so let's go on to my next question. What if I get a little writer's block? If you get a little writer's block, create spontaneous activations. Spontaneous elevator speeches is actually what Terry is recommending here. You know, say something quick. Hi, my name is Bob. I've been in business for 20 years. We have the best dry cleaners in the city. Give us a try. If you're ready for a new cleaner, come see me. That right there, you know, stepping into an idea of this kind of conversation, you can create new avenues of writing. You actually become better the more you do write. The more you do speak, you become better at it. Um, let's see. Let's see if we find a little bit here. Um, okay, so yeah. Um, maybe we can find something else in here about it real quick. There you go. Let's see. We become impressed and interested. Okay, yeah. All right, so I found out where I got that question from, and it's here on page 76. And what if I get a little writer's block? So what can I do to kind of change that idea? Well, what I'm getting from this is it's all about perspective. I was watching Bob Proctor today, and it actually he talked about perspective and how we all have a different perspective that how we see the world. And when we get writer's block, it's not that we should, hone in on what's going on and what's wrong with what we're writing about, but maybe it's just a little bit of changing of how we see um, what we're about to write. Change that perspective just a little bit. Understand what we need to go and where it leads us, and what we can do about it. We do what we have to do. You know, when you get a little bit of writer's block or ideas, you can just step into a new perspective, and all of a sudden everything lifts. You lighten up, you let go of that block, and you are becoming freer to become more compelling. Let's see. I love these books because they give you a lot of stories, a lot of how-tos. Um, Oh, this is cool. An idea of getting rid of a writer's block is you have to infuse your talk with fresh creativity and an authentic delivery. You can't always think that you have to go back to this like mechanical structure. You should open up to the idea that your mind flows in a certain way, that your speech can flow in a certain way as well. And when it draws in that power and in that force, you ultimately create a new way of opening up the pathways of creativity. So let's say that answers that. I mean, we're not looking for super specific things. We're just looking for what potentially will give us the most value and content from these questions in this book. It's not so much as going in and figuring out what the author really meant. It's finding our own meaning while having a conversation with the author at hand. Here in this case, Terry Strojan, which is small message, big impact. Fantastic so far. Let's go on to the next question. What are speech supports and rhetorical devices? Oh, cool, this is going to be great. We're going to be able to go into a new way of thinking. Perspective is everything. It's just following us here. Be creative and bring the message to life. Speech supports. Oh, here we go. I'm sure examples of speech supports here are stories, anecdotes, humor, and examples help you touch the hearts and minds of your listeners. Um, it is those stories that will give you the support to build more speech and connections with others, to build that rapport, and let's see if we can find stuff about rhetorical devices real quick. You know. You are a storyteller. Okay, so rev it up. Find the right word, move with meaning. When you do these things, you are able to become your own inspiration and support your own voice. You speak more authentically, and you speak from a place of you know importance as well as giving, with empathy and compassion, and people really learn to connect with that. Rhetorical devices, I would say, um, you know, clearly there's going to be more information about that. Um, but let's go ahead and move on. Maybe that'll come up here a little bit later. Um, you know, next question is how elegant introductions work. And well, it's simple. You go around and you meet people, say in a new business opportunity or say in a workplace focus. You you want to introduce the people you care about most in the best possible way, and that is actually introducing them as you know a creditable person, someone that you see in a graceful light, um, as a valuable asset, and see them for who you believe they are. Don't sell them short in any manner of the word, and introduce them as if you're introducing yourself. Obviously, that's a pretty easy one to figure out. There's a lot more depth on that, kind of scrappy as seems to be the person that actually goes into this book about introducing. So we'll skip on to the next question. I want to learn how to craft my first general elevator speech. Great. So how do we do that? Presentation, opportunity, general information form. Who? Okay. Yeah. Here we go. I want to learn how to craft my first general elevator speech. So, what is the goal or intention of your presentation? So, what is your why? Why are you coming to the table with this information? What do you want people to see from it and get out of it? And let's see, audience analysis information. Who are the listeners? Uh, who is your avatar? Who are you looking for? Is there a size to your audience? Is it going to be one person? Is it going to be four people? Is it going to be 1,000 people? Average age of that group. Are they going to be, 18 to 25, 25 to 36, 37 to, 50? What is the age group that you're looking to connect with? Are they going to be male or female? What's the ratio? Is it going to be 30-70, 40-60, 60-40? What is it? What is the ratio going to be? Um, Attitude of the audience. Are they going to be excited? Are they going to be inspired? Are they going to be educated? What attitude are they going to grasp from it? Are they going to be mad at what you tell them? Are they going to be excited and happy about what you tell them? What's their attitude of the audience going to be like? And how informed is the audience already? And how much do you need to teach them? So this is cool. This is actually set up in 4 steps. How to create your first general elevator speech. So first of all, we know our goal. We know our audience now. And let's see, the third one is logistical information. So facility, visual aid options, time allotted for presentation, who speaks before or after you. Um, you know, clearly location is important. Clearly, if you're not prepared, you will not succeed. I don't fully believe that, but preparing is very important. Just because you don't have all the materials does not mean you won't succeed. It just depends on how you see the world, perspective thing. Um, Time allotted for presentation. Clearly, we want to shorten it. We want to give as much value and content as possible, and so we'll give us however much time we need. Who speaks before and after you clearly is important because it develops who uh, you know who passes on the torch and who then how you pass on the torch to the next person. What is the best way to close in this situation? The best way to close in this situation, I believe, is with a sense of mastery. That is my personal opinion, not from the book itself, but a sense of mastery, a sense that you know what you're doing. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Oh, cool. Here we go. Simple guideline. Uh, Plugins, elevator speech. Like it. Plug it. Plussing the elevator speech. Yeah. This is great. There's so much information in this book. Great, so let's move on. How do I evaluate my performance? And all these are really basic. Um, oh, cool. Here's an example of that, the thing we just went through. Great. Get your hands on this book. This is full of information, chock full of it. There we go. Evaluate your performance. So how do I do that? Well, you can get a stopwatch. You can accurately measure how long it takes you to deliver your talk. Clearly, this is becoming a better speaker. This book is generalizing how to engage your audience because of knowing what they want, why they're here, and who they are, and then being able to capture their attention and build rapport with them instantaneously and quicker, so you can get your point across and you don't leave them feeling like they're unsatisfied. So let's see. So yeah, understand how long you need to talk, how long your speech is going to be, and have the speech evaluation form. And then, which we just went over that, yeah. We just went over that. And let's see, take it to the streets. Discuss it with some people. Self-evaluate. Evaluate over and over again. You can work on your own. You can do you can put it in an audio. You can just record yourself and re-listen to it and see if you're hitting the timing that you expect. Are you being the person you want other people to hear? Are you being the person that you want other people to listen to? Then you can enlist a friend. See right here it says by a friend, ask a friend or mentor to evaluate your elevator speech using a blank copy of the speech elevation form. This is so you can understand principles and goals and benchmarks you're striving for to evaluate your performance. So you can utilize a friend to evaluate your performance. You can evaluate it on your own. You can also develop a small group evaluation session. And that's where you can get people that are committed to you, who are going to support you and give you constructive advice on how to, constructive feedback of how your speech is doing. See, you can schedule a formal practice workshop with your organization. I would actually consider this as a mastermind. You're able to show them what you have brought to the table, and then they can come and tell you if it's going to be working or if you're going to need to kind of reevaluate. See, self-evaluate after giving a live real-world talk. So you get in front of the people, you present yourself, you present your speech in the time allotted, time you allowed for yourself to give it in, and then you grow from understanding what you did, how you did it, how long it took, and what kind of reaction you got from it. Yeah, self-evaluation actually morphs your talk for future effectiveness. It can help you assess whether or not the elevator speech effect was successfully set in motion. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, interesting. Building, creativity, delivery. That's cool. It's actually set up in 3 parts. How to elevate it. Did they build it well? Structured outline, make the attention clear. Craft clean, logical arguments, address the needs of the audience. Use a lot of time in a balanced, effective manner. Have a clear call to action, and use the bridge line. What this means to you. So did the speaker build upon the information he was trying to actually produce or share with the audience? Creativity. Um, you know, did the speaker grab the listener's attention, or make the message interesting and thought provoking or thought provoking? Use engaging anecdotes, stories, and other support to create a compelling message. Create ideas for people to think on. Rhetorical devices, so people could actually think on their own, come to their own conclusions. They present it in an interesting analysis to the audience, tell stories that relate to the audience. Creating that rapport to develop a better speech. Did you do that? For example, I am a naturally born 137 words per minute person. I don't know where I came from or why I did that. Maybe I didn't have enough confidence in myself, or maybe I didn't have enough action being taken on the fact that I could read faster. However, over time, over years, learning what is possible with the human mind, I'm sure you've been there before, always wondering, what is my true potential? What can I really do in this world? How can I actually become a better person, better reader, and so on and so forth? And if you're like me, you've always wondered, can I do more? And then you come across a thing called photo reading, and you realize that you can get the information that you're looking for at the comprehension level that you need, that you want, so you can actually develop your skills and mental performance at a higher pace. And that's when I came across photo reading. So that's just a quick example of a story that someone can relate to. Were you tough? Was it tough for you to read? And if it was, I was like that, just like you. You know, pretty simple, story. Pretty basic, and anybody can do it. Of course, you build upon it and you build upon it, and you become better at it as you go. And the delivery. Here's the last thing to where we on evaluate performance. Delivery. Did the speaker have the energy and enthusiasm, or engage the audience's attention with his/her presence? A good diction, word choice, a use of vocabulary. Did the speaker bolster his speech with positive words and affirmations, or did they kind of break it down with negative application? Avoid distracting body language and engage in effective use of movement. Did the speaker take you away from, take your attention away by waving his hands around or whatever? Use effective volume, rate, pacing, range, and ways she spoke. Clearly this is actually developing me as a speaker better. Using my range, my emotion, my enthusiasm to deliver a more provocative, uh, reading. This is fun. Displays confidence and speak in his authentic voice. Everybody has to find their authentic voice. What is it for you? I'm actually still developing my authentic voice, and I know it shines through quite a bit, quite often, and you just gotta guide yourself to that. It reminds me of a Tony Robbins story of a man named Rashad. He's been a stutterer for about 30 years, 30 plus years, ever since he was about 2 years old. And he didn't understand that his authentic voice was the voice right before he started stuttering. And he's always known that he's had some great potential within him. His wife has known it. His kid has known it, and he just never saw how he could actually let that voice out up until he met Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, in 7 minutes, figured out where the stutter actually arose in him. Went back to the point right before that stutter, and Rashad just went on fire. And all of a sudden, the stutter went away, but he had to work at it. And he stood up in front of 5,000 people, and he spoke life into them. And you know what? You would have never thought he had stuttered before in his life, because he had found his authentic voice, and he was ready and prepared to share it with everybody because he's wanted that for so long. So find your authentic voice. Use visual aids effectively. Clearly, visual aids, boom, boom, it's a book. Done. Effective, piece of cake. Dress appropriately, of course. Who wouldn't love to be on the extreme team? You know, there's an infinite amount of possibilities when you're connected to the best masterminding group in, you know, the industry. Whatever. Anyways, back to the task at hand. So now we've evaluated our performance. We understand the speaker in a better way, whether we're doing it self, whether we're asking you know, peer group to help us out. We're understanding that we can be more effective and more authentic when we decide to deliver it in a way that it most resonates with us. Okay, last question. What is the meaning for the butterfly and stopwatch? Ooh, I don't know. I wonder what. Oh, I get it. Okay, so you know it takes time to deliver a speech, but there's beauty in it. There's this beautiful play of flight and elegance that creates and corresponds with the time it takes to tell it. You could be there sitting in a room talking to just a couple people, but you know, knowing and understanding what makes them tick, what makes them fly. You're able to create this beautiful rapport and value that pertains to their exact question or their exact intent, and you can actually become you know, a natural corresponding idea with your audience, and then you can just guide them into what they're looking for, because not to say that you already knew it, but that you've already developed this idea, this structure, that you've broken out and then let it loose on a timed basis. So I think that's what the personal opinion I got from the butterfly and the stopwatch. You know, we are beautiful beings that are elegant in speech, and if we give it a small amount of time, we can go ahead and create an incredible rapport. So the small message, big impact is to create a big rapport with a little amount of time, because you have the value and content within you, and you can go ahead and make it happen. Guys, check out this book, Small Message, Big Impact, The Elevator Speech Effect by Terry L. Shoden. And it's an amazing read, amazing content within it, a lot of value, a lot of practical advice to become a better speaker in a shorter amount of time. So guys, this is James Craig for now. This is just one demonstration of Activate, the Step 5. Next we'll do another book, and eventually we'll progress into mind mapping and more techniques such as skittering, tipping, and rhythmic perusal. Those are a little bit more complicated. They might have to go into separate videos. However, I do enjoy the activation because I get to learn something. I get to help you all learn something, and we get to work together on learning it in our own way. So, thank you very much, guys. If you want to check out this recording again, you're more than welcome to. Hope you join me next time with the next book. And hey, happy reading, guys. Bye for now.